Okay, let's dive into product pricing. So from your product tab, come up here to the pricing. And for our purposes, we're going to look at an existing product that already has some pricing so you can get an idea of how this works. So the first thing you should do is click this and check this out. This is how the formulas work below. Just get an idea, a little review on your high school math, order of operations, that kind of thing. It also shows you how to structure a logic statement, which you'll need for things like if the style and rail is wider than 3.5, then do this. If it's less than 2.5, do that. That's logic. So read up on that, and then we're going to look at the several layers of pricing in the site. The first is this section under pricing, and obviously you can see we'll come back to this and we'll go through how this layer works with the other layers. So at the most basic level, you have this product and you have these sections. So all these sections do are add on each other. So we've just given you a way to say, let's do this and let's do that and let's do this and let's do that. Kind of like categories, like pricing categories. We want to figure out the frame material. We want to figure out the panel material. We want to add in the labor, so on and so forth. So you could just have one section and one price. So this would just put the price at $23. The minimum price at the bottom says that no matter what happens up here above, I don't want to go below $13. And of course, you can just sit here and add as many sections as you need to and put numbers and formulas in them. So what this would do right here is it would say 23 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. That would be the price. And if this were greater than 13, then you'd take this price. If this ended up being less than 13, then it would take this price. Before we dive into formulas here, I want to show you the other layers of pricing. Okay, one of these is at the order level. So if I go to an order and I scroll all the way to the bottom, I can just give the whole order a discount percent. So I can say 10% and that discounts it to that. And what it does is it takes that 10% and it filters it all the way up through and it tells the customer, you got $2.82 off this product. Here's your new subtotal. This also works as a negative or surcharge. So you can tell the customer you got a surcharge because of some other thing. Also, if you have permission to do this, and all of these are permissions, you can simply just click on the price and change it. So that's a very manual way to affect the price per order for small tweaks here and there. We're not going to dive too much into this, but it is worth mentioning right now. We're going to go look at price adjustments. We'll do a whole nother section on this, but for now, I wanted to show you what this is. The price adjustment system sits on top of the regular pricing system. So let's say, for example, that we wanted to give a certain group of customers a 10% discount. We could create an adjustment for 10% discount, and we could say 10 discount and set this up to work, and this would just work on top of everything and it would be manageable from here. You could add people to this discount, take them away. It's a very high level and easy way to add large discounts or surcharges over your products and not have to go into your products and change the pricing. You can create as many of these as you need to. And again, we'll come back and do this later, but I just wanted to show you that this could affect pricing in your products. So let's go back to your product. Before we get too far into formulas, let's talk about subscriptions. So sometimes you might want customers to order a product from you and subscribe to that product. So if you click this, you'll see some more options. So you could say every month this subscription is going to renew itself. And on the customer end, they'll just see a checkbox that says this is a subscription product and they'll get a new invoice every month. Pretty simple. Let's turn that off and talk more about normal products and formulas. So again, using these basic order of operations mathematics, you can create all kinds of formulas, and this can be as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. So in the formula box, let me show you what you can do. You can actually pull variables from your products. So remember in the last video, we made a table full of information. For example, if the user selected alder as the wood, we had a cost for that wood. Those variables are just right over here. So in this example, wood type cost, we could say we want to charge $25 flat fee plus whatever the wood type cost was. And maybe that was a $5 upcharge. And not to look too far ahead, but once we start creating parts, we'll be able to use part variables as well. So we could say, how many panels are there? Let's charge a certain amount for every single panel they choose. Or we can look things up. Are the rails greater than 3 inches wide? If they are, charge them an upcharge. Due to the limitless things you could do here, I'm not going to go into too many different scenarios, but you can definitely browse the demo site and for sure play around with this on your own. Get 2 tabs going, one with an order page and one with your product page. Play around with this, save it, and see what it does to the order price. And get yourself familiar with what you can do with pricing. So take a good 10 minutes right now just to mess around and do some crazy formula stuff here. When building large formulas with lots of sets of nested logic, build them in steps and save them and look at your results one step at a time and make sure they're computing properly rather than spend a long time writing a formula only to find out that it's wrong and not know where you went wrong. If you build them step by step, it'll be easy to configure and troubleshoot.